To set up your FrogBox kit, you'll need your FrogBox mast bag and carry case. Check that you have your tripod mast, long USB cable, long HDMI cable and the tilt head remote control. Inside the carry case is your battery, camera, video encoder with your 4G data SIM inserted, tilt head, video viewer and accessories including antennas, mini USB charging cable and 12-volt DC cable. First step is to set up your tripod on a flat surface. Loosen the screws, extend the legs to maximum width and then tighten the screws as shown to secure. Next you will attach the tilt head to the tripod. First remove the silver tripod bolt from the mast and screw into the bottom of the tilt head. Then attach the tilt head to the mast by inserting the bolt back into the tripod and tightening the screw. Make sure the plug inlet and control switches are facing the pitch, then plug in the remote control cable into the socket. Switch the tilt head control button to M and the green light will come on. Check that the remote control cable is plugged into the remote socket, the control switch is set to M and the green power indicator is on. Attach the camera to the top of the tilt head using the black knob screwing anti-clockwise to tighten. Ensure camera cables are untangled and fall to the side of the tripod mast. Unwind the long USB cable and connect to the camera's USB power cable and to a USB slot on the battery. Press the on button of the battery, this is the round black button, and the blue indicator lights will come on, indicating the battery life left. Place the battery back on top of the foam inserts. Unwind the long HDMI cable and connect to the camera's HDMI output cable, then connect the other end to the HDMI in port on the video viewer. There are labels on the video viewer to indicate the HDMI in port. Attach the sunshade to the video viewer to reduce sun glare. Then plug DC cable into 12-volt port of the battery and plug the other end into the DC input port of the video viewer. The video viewer will have two connections inserted as shown, the HDMI cable plugged into the HDMI in port and DC cable plugged into the DC port. Now switch on the camera by opening the LCD display and plug in the mini HDMI cable to the HDMI port. Turn on the camera and open the lens. Adjust the zoom of the camera as required. We recommend selecting a zoom setting of between 6 and 9 to begin with. Here we indicate the locations of the HDMI port, the power button and the zoom controls on the camera. Check that you can now see vision through the video viewer and that all cables are untangled and free from any obstructions. Start raising the tripod mast one section at a time. Tighten all screws before moving to the next section. Use the green flexible cable ties to secure the cable ties to the mast where appropriate. If you're using pegs or sandbag weights to anchor the mast legs, then ensure these are in place before extending the mast. Once at the required height, use the tilt head remote control to adjust the camera as required using the video viewer to check the feed. Refer to the product manual for helpful tips on positioning the camera for cricket. You're now ready to connect the video encoder and start the stream. Wait until about 20 minutes before play starts, then disconnect the video viewer and set up the video encoder. Check the feed in the video viewer to ensure the camera is in the required position, then remove the HDMI cable from the video viewer and connect it to the HDMI port on the back of the video encoder. Then attach the streaming antennas to the video encoder. Ensure that the 4G and Wi-Fi antennas are attached to the correct ports using the icons on both the antenna and the encoder to match them correctly. Now plug the short USB cable into a USB port on the battery and the mini USB input on the front of the video encoder. The charging indicator on the video encoder will turn red. Turn on the encoder by holding the power button on the encoder for 4 seconds. Wait 60 seconds. Then check that the 4G indicator is solid blue and the flow indicator is flashing green. Place the battery and video encoder on the foam inserts of the carry case and your setup is complete. Please refer to the product manual for additional troubleshooting assistance or visit the FrogBox product support site for further help.